I just wanted to show you a new paper collection. I don't think it's that new, but it's new to me. And I have made a couple beautiful books out of it. And the most recent one I finished is by Heartfelt Creations, and it's called Raindrops on Roses. And I buy this paper collection from Country Craft Creations website, or Amazon does carry it too, and I'm sure heartfeltcreations.com carries it. But this is some of the beautiful paper you have to work with, and it is two-sided. You get 24 sheets. This is one side and this is the other. This is a rather dark side. I didn't use it, but this is one sheet of paper. I used the entire stack of paper, and if you remember the album I showed you last time by the winking frog, that was also Heartfelt Creations. This is one of the papers, and on the other side there's two frames. I'll use those in my scrapbooking. And this is one of, they have like four pieces of paper that have quarters, 6 by 6, that match the 12 by 12 papers. So, you know, if you want to make a 6 by 6 page or album, you've got that to work with. And then on the other side, I guess it's this way, is more beautifulness. And here's another one of the 6 by 6 papers. And on this side is another beautiful page. So this is the collection. I thought it was absolutely lovely. I'll use these probably, you know, they give you these things too, and with little tickets and tabs you can use on card making. In fact, I'm going to make a birthday card out of this one tomorrow. And that's all I had left out of all that paper. So I will show you now the album I made. And this is it. It's a new type of album from me. I usually don't make them this large or fancy, but I was inspired by watching some YouTube videos, and so I decided to give it a try. And I did something different this time. I used black, can you tell? Black chipboard. And I did not cover it. Usually I'll use a sort of a craft colored chipboard, but it always looks like cardboard. So you have to cover it with craft paper. But a good quality black chipboard, you don't need to cover with more paper other than the actual decorative paper you're going to use. So in typical fashion, I use this ribbon for my closure because I like the ribbon closure, and it goes with this style album. But actually I may go to something else sometime. And on the spine of the book is a Tim Holtz little embellishment, and it has the word cherish in it, and that came with the paper collection. And I just put a strip of reinforcement paper where the folds were. These are primas right here, prima flowers. These are recollections from Michael's, and then it says memories with you, and that is something that came with the paper kit. So on the inside cover, now I did a lot more than I usually do. There you go. The inside cover I actually decorated as if it were a page, because you can use it like a page. And remember, I didn't have to do anything to this chipboard other than put the decorative paper down. And I made a pocket and punched the black cardstock with a decorative edging, so I had it so that puts a little prettiness. And all of these things were scrap papers, although this is an actual frame of that came with the kit, a frame, little picture frame. And let's see. Oh, this one is too. This is a little booklet actually. They give you a lot of picture frames, so I made a little booklet out of that, and that will go in here. Oops. So what I need to do is wreck all my little decorative things. And then these were just leftover pieces of paper that I, backed with cardstock just so that they were usable, because you can always stick pictures in there. Okay, on this page, I gotta make sure I'm staying in frame. On this page, this is officially page 1. There's this lovely paper, and then I just did one fold up, and it said, "You are simply the best," and it's got just a place for more picture there. On this one, I did a fold up, and you see it flips up, and I kept forgetting that I was going to do a fold up, and this one I think I did it right. To do the fold up the way I learned to do it, you have to put it on there before you put the top paper. I kept forgetting to put the top papers on, but this one I did do it right, and so that's how it's supposed to look. On this particular piece of artwork, I just cut out a little square of, it was like a stamp really, that they had there, and I just put adhesive here and here, so it makes it a little tacky on the inside. And then I made a tag right here, and because it's just a little tacky, it stays. And then just an extra excuse me, little square for a small picture. I put that in there, and the tackiness of letting the adhesive come in contact holds those in there. Okay, now to turn to the next page, I cut out, I should tell you, these pages measure exactly 6 by 8. So you take a 12 by 12, cut it right down the center vertically, and then you use the top part of the paper so that they all match. And I'll show you. See? They match. This is the top part of one 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And then you waste the bottom 4 inches, but that's when you start putting them on, on black sheets of paper and making some more tags. These are all the bottom parts of the papers, and this is 2 things. And then I just cut out a little corner of roses and made a little tiny pocket. It's not tiny, but a small pocket right there to hold some tags. And this one is, let's make sure, okay, this is a waterfall, and it says live in the moment, and that is all with the paper set. And these are this size square, and so I just put them on cardstock and made a waterfall creation out of them. I think there's 4 of them, yeah. So that's a bunch of pictures you can get in there. And now we're over to page 3, I think. And this is one of my favorite pages. This ribbon keeps slipping under here. I think it's so pretty, and it just says dream there, and has a little flap that I just added as an afterthought. One of my forgetful things where I'd already glued on the paper, but it turned out just fine. And right under here I put Dream, and I love this Recollections glittery butterfly. It goes good there. And right here, I really didn't want to do much because the album was going to be too bulky if I got carried away with my fun and games. So I just stuck a little tab here and made one of my favorite things to do. It fold out like that, four squares, like you're making an exploding box, basically. And just covered those. Made it so easy and quite lovely, I think. And here I just put a pocket at the bottom. And here, this is like the middle page or something, and it says, "Through the years." It says it twice, but and I put a little pink ribbon here. This paper is just a subtle green. Gosh, I hope you can see this. Yeah, I think you can. It's just a subtle green, and the pocket's big enough to hold quite a few things. And these are, I think, this is another one of those little flip-top things that go with the papers. And these were some little square frames, so they go in there. As you can see why I was falling in love with this album, it's just so pretty. The paper is so pretty, and the black sets it off much better than a craft color would do. So I just left it as is. And this is something I remembered to do the fold out correctly that way. And I didn't know if people were going to want to put pictures right on there or whatever. So I just sort of stuck this under here so that they could see, if they wanted, they could stick a picture there and put two there. But this is just a sort of a throwaway thing, but I put it there just so it looks pretty. And then, this page, I don't know. I got carried away, made these flaps too big, and I'm not pleased with myself that I did. This flap, way too big. I would never do it like this again. But this flap, it had some little stamps here, so it's just glued at the bottom. So if you wanted to, you could. Let me see if I got a little piece of paper here. So it would hold a few pictures or whatever. But I wanted to do something because I'd gotten so carried away with myself and the flaps that I did that. And then this was just too pretty a paper to waste. And this is the middle paper. And then the flaps on the other side. Oh, this is a little thing that they provide for you so you can make a little booklet. So this is the back of it, and then you fold it up like that, and it makes sort of a little wallet-sized booklet. And I put a pocket there to slip it into. I'm learning to love the pockets, I'll tell you that. And so that I could do this, I found, oops, if I glue all this down, it's going to make this thing not move, so I had to put like a little hinge system there. Oh, here I cut part of the fleur-de-lis or whatever it was and made a pocket on this side. Pockets and flaps everywhere. Didn't do much with this one because the paper was just pretty. Let me get these folded back here. I'm lucky that they didn't interfere with the bend of my page, but I was careful. And then this was Thinking of You. After all this folderol, I just left this page alone. And on the last page was a flap, and I did this one correctly too. Put it underneath the paper. And this paper was cut down the middle, and I just matched up the two frames so that there was something in here. I don't know what happened. So that they match. This was one of the last papers, and then I put a bow and a prima flower there, and then this will hold whatever they want to put in there. I'll put a piece of paper or something in there, because I think this, just so that they'll know something goes there. They'll put whatever they want. And this album is going to go up for sale on my Etsy shop. And as you notice, it opens flat, even though it's kind of bulky. It opens flat, and then sort of the pages sort of fall in a waterfall look. But and then on the back, I just put especially for you, and I signed my name, because I think when you spend that much time on something for someone, I think you should sign your name. And these right here are an iridescent rose. I don't know in this light if it looks like iridescent rose, but it is. And it goes on the back too. And I attach that with glue gun. So there you go. And I learned by my mistakes, really. I worked hard, and I tried not to overdo it. I didn't put any lace around here, whatever. I didn't really think it needed it. It has a lot of pretty things. But if you want some really delightful paper collections, you can get them at Country Craft Creations for, I think they were only, I'm not sure, don't quote me. I think I only paid $14 for mine, but it may have been on Amazon or something, or it may have been on Blitsy, because Blitsy sometimes will sell them on sale. But I will be making more of this style. It's as you can see, a fat album, and this is 3 inches, and I think that's pretty big for an album, but it isn't one of those albums that you're just going to lay around. You're going to have to put it up somewhere. It's not any bigger than the one I made with the idea of, Graphic 45 Rare Oddities. That was a box. So anyway, this is the biggest one I've made so far, other than the Rare Oddities box. I'm going to go make another winking frog next week, and it's going to go back to my somewhat smaller size. But hope you liked it. I certainly do, and I just think this paper is lovely. I've got some more ones I'm going to do too. Hope you enjoyed it. And the hinge system is basically it's not hidden hinge. It's sort of just a stacked hinge or something, but it's not a hidden hinge system. It's just a reinforced hinge system. It attaches very well and was easy to do. All right, thank you very much. Glad you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions or want me to show you more about this album, put a comment on my page.